First of all, it is a platform that brings together many things into one. One of those things is that for those of us who love to travel, you can now book your accommodation through a platform that actually pays you every time you do that. So accommodation, whether it is an apartment you're looking for in a city, whether it is a hotel you want in a city, you can book it through this particular platform. But that's not all. They also allow us to book transportation. By this, we are talking about flights. We are talking about car rides. We are talking about local flights, international flights, tour experiences and activities. And so to wrap it up and to ice it up, there is chance and there is an opportunity in this platform for everybody to make a passive income. And that is something very, very powerful. The more we keep hammering this story, the more we keep pushing this story, the more it gets to more people, the more viral it's going to get, the more testimonies start coming in, the more viral it will get. So right now, those of us who are here in the foundation stages, we need to be steadfast and give ourselves, tighten our seatbelts because a lot is going to depend on us. So look, these guys have deployed a cutting edge technology. And beyond that, they have used a user focused approach to allow each one of us that participates, to become part of the system. But even before you become part of the system, I already said you can book global and you can book accommodation, flights, and all these at exclusive prices. Besides the accommodation and flights, you can rent cars, P2P. So you're going to, let's say, India, Mumbai, you need a car to drive. So you go into this platform, book a car, and when you get there, you drive yourself. You can go and discover restaurants, local shops, where there is action using this platform. And beyond that, you can even tailor personalized experiences. So you put together a group of people and you choose to go to Zanzibar. You put your own tour, and this company will help you to promote it to the right audience. Now, the question is, how does this company generate money? Because beyond this, we are going to talk about money. Now, the answer is simple. These guys are in the business of connecting users and service providers. And if you care to know, this is the new business model that has created the most billion-dollar companies in recent time. It is not Toyota, it is not GM Motors, it's not these coal mines and all that. So if you can put a platform that connects somebody who is looking for something and the person who has that something, then you are in business. You don't have to own that thing, and you don't have to be the one who wants it. And this is what Alibaba has done so well. This is what Uber is doing so well. They know somebody needs a car, and they know somebody has a car, and they create Uber. This is what Airbnb has done. They know you have an apartment which you want to rent out, and somebody is looking for it. So they created for you a platform. And guess what? These guys are making hundreds of millions of dollars every single day. What is their expense cost? Guys, it's just a website. They have a website which was done once, and that website only is being serviced by a few IT people and maybe a customer care. So the overheads, negligible. The money they're making, Uber, for example, 25% of every trip from every driver. I don't know if you guys can do some maths there, It's crazy the kind of money they're making. So this is the same model that this company is using. They allow you to connect with users, accommodation, travel, and we put all this into one. So accommodation and the host network reservations is one of the areas they use. They connect you and the person who has the accommodation. When you book, you stay, and the company makes a commission. But beyond that, they also connect you with the airlines. So every time you book a ticket to go wherever you want to go, they make a percentage between 5 to 20%. And also, every time you want to book an experience to go and have fun, you book it, you go have fun, they make money. And so this they are doing all over the world. It's not about Kampala, it's all over the world. So imagine how much bookings can happen in a single day. When they're making between 2 to 5%, maybe 20%, do your maths. Just think about it, do your maths. If you have 1,000 bookings of a hotel all over the world, and in those 1,000 people, if they made just maybe $100, that is $100,000. But you know what? They're way, way, way more than that. So that is how they make money. Now, how do you participate? You have to buy a package. We have 4 packages. Each of them have benefits. But for you to buy this package, you need, to understand the concept, which is what we are doing right now. So once you understood, you pick from one of these, buy. Now, once you buy, every day you receive, or you qualify to receive, anything between 0.6 to 2% of your package price daily, Monday to Friday. Now for Travel One, which is the first package, it starts from $25 up to $900, and here you get to receive 0.6 to 0.8% daily. Travel Two package starts from $1,000 to $5K. You receive 0.8 to 1.1%. Travel Three starts from $6,000 up to $15,000. You receive anything between 1.1% to 1.5%. And Travel 4 starts from $18,000 all the way to $50,000. And in this case, you receive between 1.5% to 2%. Now, let's just take an example of this Travel 2. The question you might be asking yourself is, what does it take to move from 0.8% to maybe 1% or 1.1? What is the difference? What do I have to do? The answer is that this company requires you to help them build a community of users of their service. So if you can invite a customer who comes and buys a ticket on this platform, or if you can invite somebody who books a hotel on this platform, or you invite a company that can list their apartment, then those actions of recommending the platform to customers and service providers gives you what we call the T power, trading power. And that trading power is what helps you to increase the amount of return you're getting daily to the highest possible within that package. So in this case, ladies and gentlemen, if you brought in one customer, you get 20% of the T power. That means if you were on Travel 2, and let's say you had put in $1,000, instead of receiving 0.8%, like somebody who never recruited anybody else would, you who has recruited one person, your ROI would go up from 0.8 by 20% power. So it might go to 0.9. Then once you bring another person, the second one, another 20% increment. So once you bring in 5 people, it's 100% increment, meaning to move from 0.8% to 1.1% income in passive, all you need to do after registration, recommend the platforms, the different services to customers and service providers. And that's all. So the same applies for all the packages. So that's already explained. Now let's talk about somebody who has started and he has decided not to talk to anybody, not even a customer. They have recommended no one. It means such a person would actually be earning the lower, the lower end. Let me put it this way. It means you will be earning the lower end of the previous. Just one second. Here we go. So let's say somebody bought a package of Travel 2, $1,000 plan, and he decided not to talk to anybody, not even a customer. You will be getting 0.8% daily for 5 days until you make 2.2x. So in this example, let's take a scenario. Someone started, he put in $100. That is the first package. He never recruited anybody. He didn't talk to no customer. He will be getting 0.6 daily. And that means at the end of the contract, he would have made 220. When does the contract end? When you make 2.2x, 220%, it expires. And then you have to either renew or that will be the end. So with $100, you make 0.6% daily if you have not recruited somebody, which is why we are saying the scenario here is when your T power is 0%. You haven't talked to anyone. However, let's assume you have $500 pack. Still, that falls within the first tier, or the first plan rather. So it's a 0.6% daily rate, giving you 3% daily. At the end of the week, it will be $15 a week. At the end of the month, it's $60. And your contract will end when you made 2.2x, which is 1,100. If you made, let's take the $5,000 package. This is the second plan. You get 0.8% if your T power is 0. And then with that, you're making $40 a day. and that is $200 a week. At the end of your contract, 5,000 has become 11,000. Worst case scenario. Finally, let's take a $20, 20,000. If you have a 0% T power, you make 1.5%, which is the lower end. That is $300 daily, $6,000 monthly, and $44,000 at the end of the contract. The contract ends when you made 2.2x. It can run for about 6 to 7 months, if not 8. So that is if your T power is 0. Now, once you increase your T power to 100%, let's say, meaning you have talked to 5 clients and you are now earning the higher tier. It means with the $20,000, you get now 2%, which is $400 a day, which comes to $8K a month, but the total will still be $44,000. Meaning in the other case, you're getting slightly less every day, but in the end, you still make the same money. The difference is that this one with the T power will achieve the 2.2x earlier than the other one. So that's how it works. Now, that is passive. Everybody will get that money. You don't have to be a guru in anything. You don't need to necessarily be on the Zoom. However, let's talk about direct, the active income. People that decide to bring, the word of mouth. You tell a friend who tells a friend about this news. What will happen is, number one, the company will pay you what we call a direct and indirect bonus. Now, this works every time you refer somebody and they buy a package, you get 7%. That is direct referral. So if you bring me in and I buy a package of $1,000, you receive $70 instantly. But it doesn't end there. If I bring somebody else, let's say Mustafa, and he also buys a package of $1,000, I get 7% because I brought Mustafa, but you get 3% because Mustafa is on your second level. And then it doesn't end there. If Mustafa brings in Tom, and Tom puts $1,000, Mustafa gets 7%, I get 3%, and Mustafa gets 7%, you get 3%, and I get 2% because that person is on my third level. So in total, the company pays out 12% into the direct and indirect bonuses. Now, to open these two second level and third level, there is a small requirement. Level 2, you need to have done 5K in direct sales. Level 3, to open it up, you need $15,000 in total sales within the 2 generations, and then you are good. So that is called direct referral bonus. There is no limit to this one. You can make it every time somebody you recruited buys. Now let's talk about the binary. Binary is a very powerful and sweet compensation. It's a team thing. These guys have put together a unique binary, which is structured to last, structured to sustain, but also to reward generously. It grows as you grow. Why do we say this? With the binary system, you have to build a team of 2, left and right, and you have to at least refer 2 members to activate this. Once you do this, everybody will start to be paid a percentage of the total sales created by the weaker side of your teams. So if you have team A on the left, team B on the right, every day the company will take the total in sales on the left and the total in sales on your right. Now, whichever side is lower, that is the side they will pay you on. Now, for this, it depends what you will get on your level. Everybody will start off at 6% daily. So let's say you have 10,000 points on your weaker side. When you have just started out, you get 6% of that 10,000, which will be like a $600 for that day, However, the moment you have accumulated $25,000 in your pay leg, your binary pay will go up to 7%. So once you have 25,001 onwards, you now get 7%. So with the same $10,000 on your pay leg, your binary pay would be 7%, which would be 700. What if you had accumulated 50,000 points on your pay leg? The binary goes up to 8%. And now all these things go along with the capping. At the first level, your maximum daily cap is $500. On level 2, the maximum you can make in a day is 1,000. On level 3, the maximum you can get is $2,000 a day per account. Now, once you hit 100,000 points, your binary goes to 9%. So imagine you still have $10,000 on your pay leg, but this time you're getting $900. Now the capping goes to $6,000 a day. And finally, when you hit 250,000 points on your pay leg, your binary goes to 10%, and then your capping goes to $15,000 a day. Now, so 10% starts from $250,000 and plus. Now, of course, if you hit 1 million points, not even a million, actually 500,000 points, your binary will still be 10%. However, your daily cap will now go to $25,000 per account. Guys, this is why we are excited about this binary. It's crazy. It is structured in a manner which is stable, but most importantly, it is packed. If you choose to work, imagine making $25,000 every day from one account. It's crazy. Now let's talk about the scenario. This is a scenario of 12 weeks, in which case we assume everybody keeps it simple. You start just with $500, not 1,000, not 10K, just 5. And then find the two to build the binary with in a week's time. After that, help those two duplicate. That is, they also find their two. If you build your team at that level, week 1, you'll have one person on the pay leg with $500 volume with a 6% binary pay, giving you $30. Week 2, this guy would have brought his two, making them two people on the pay leg, each paying 500, making it to 1,000 volume. Still, your binary will be 6%. You make $60. Week 3, the guys will be 4 on the pay leg. The volume will be 2,000. The binary is still 6, giving you 120. By week number 7, ladies and gentlemen, actually 6, you have 32 people on the pay leg, 16,000 volume, 7% binary, giving you 1K. By the time you're on week number 9, you have 256 people on your pay leg, 128,000 sales, 10% binary with 12K. By the time you're on week number 12, these are 90 days, you'd have 2,000 people on the pay leg, 1 million points, and 10% binary, giving you 100K. Cumulatively, you would have made $200,000 plus. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the power of this binary. Then we have what we call the residual withdrawal income. This is a payment the company created to reward people even further. Every time people withdraw money from this system, the company charges them a fee of 10%. Now, this is something familiar. Most companies charge this, but the difference is that here, the company does not eat the money. They share it with those of us. So anybody who is going to withdraw money will be charged 10%. So if you withdraw $1,000, the company will charge you $100. However, that 10% charge, the company splits 50% to themselves, and 50% is used to fund this commission. So they will distribute it into level 1, 10%, level 2, 10%, level 3, 10%, level 4, 10%, all the way down to level 10. So imagine how much this can become, because everybody is going to withdraw money anyway. This is the only activity that I know in this particular platform where nobody is going to be requested to do. Everybody will do it willingly, gladly, voluntarily, So it means as they do that, you're also getting paid, and which is something very exciting. Now, the weekly bonus is what we call momentum bonus. This one is an incentive for you to build your team faster. All you need to do is, recruit 5 new people within a week's time, and if they are all buying a package of $100 onwards, the company will give you an extra 5% on the total amount these people have used to buy packages. So if the 5 people you brought within a week have bought packages totaling up to, let's say, $10,000, then you get 5% more, which would be $500. And now it has a few conditions. These people have to have bought packages of, $100 and onwards. It must be within 1 week. It is counted from Monday to Sunday, and so forth. So let's talk about performance bonus. This is the rank achievement bonus. Like many binary systems, these guys have a lucrative rank recognition. And the basis of the rank is the total volume you have on your pay leg. As soon as you have accumulated 5,000 points on the pay leg, you immediately become a starter. You get $50. And then once it is 25K, you become a builder. That is $250. Once it hits $50,000, you are now an explorer and you get $500. Then you go to $2,000, $4,000, $8,000, and then once you hit the ambassador rank, you get yourself $15,000. Now the beauty is that having received those rank rewards, those are one-time payments. We call it performance bonus. Once you hit the ambassador rank, a new income type kicks in, which is called the ambassador bonus. This is its salary. As soon as you hit that ambassador rank, which is 1,000,000 points, any additional 1,000,000 point that will drop into your pay leg will give you a salary of $3,000 every month. But you can increase this salary. Once another 1,000,000 drops, it goes to $4,000 a month you'll be earning. So it keeps going up every time an extra million drops, and that goes up to $10,000 every month in salary for you. Now the question is, can this volume be done? Of course, yes. Is it being done? Yes. 1,000,000 points in your pay leg is nothing. It actually means you have done roughly $100,000 in binary. That is nothing. People are in this call who have done those kind of volumes times, multiple times before. So it's a matter of time, and this volume are going to come in wrecking, and these ranks will be achieved. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. Welcome to the journey that pays. This is the perfect time. This is the perfect opportunity. Let's do this. Let's rock this. Allow me to end the presentation there.